Sup ninjas, welcome to Ninja Ads 2.0. So what we're going to be talking about today is a whole new improved way of doing Ninja Ad. So let's get started with this. Alright, so here's what's going to happen. So we're going to be talking again about the proper way of creating Ninja Ads, the best ad offers for real estate, discerning market psychology between the low end, mid end, and high end, and then using the research form, and then crafting our Ninja 2.0 copy, and then our Ninja 2.0 creatives. So with that said, let's get started.
And so, in our first topic, we'll be talking about the proper way to create Ninja ads. So, basically, the advertising style that we're going for is something called direct response marketing. This is designed to make sure that we have fast and instantaneous results rather than using fluffed up, pretty looking branding ads. So, no to branding ads and yes to direct response ads. No, we're not advertising to increase brand awareness. We're advertising to increase sales right away. And so, our copy must be persuasive, direct to the point, and have a clear USP. That stands for unique selling proposition. We've already covered that in the previous lessons. Now, next is it must show scarcity and or urgency. And lastly, have a clear call to action. You need to be able to make the reader bend to your will on taking the right action right away instead of them just scrolling past your ad. You must be able to get this right in order for you to be able to sell. If not, you'll just waste your time, money, and all the possible opportunities that you could have gotten. Other than that, you also have to play against Facebook's own algorithm. You have to follow their own rules and see what's allowed and what's not. For that, all you have to do is to first read Facebook's very own ad policy. Now, I will be providing you a link to that in the description above. After reading that, you can now easily make sure as well that whatever content that you're writing will be compliant. Basically, just make sure that you're being truthful, clear, and not seeming like a clickbait ad. Now, for our image, it must be attractive. It must show the benefits right away, and it's going to make the prospect imagine and enjoy the property right away. So make sure to be guided by what the platform and the market prefers. You have to strike a good balance between them. For ad images, in Facebook particularly, you should be guided by the things that the algorithm prefers and what your market prefers as well. So you have to know how to strike a good balance between them. Let's talk about dealing with the algorithm. I'm going to show you an example of what Facebook sees whenever you upload an image. So right now I'm here in this Facebook group called Condo for Rent and Sale Philippines. So I just ran into this random post right here, and we're going to make Facebook decipher what it is that's in this photo right here. Okay, so for example, let's just click this one. So right now I see that it's outdoors and it has a pool right there, and we're gonna try to make Facebook identify this photo. So what we're going to do is we're gonna click on inspect element, and right here we have the alternate text that says maybe an image of pool and outdoors. Okay, so let's try that one again. So this is going to be right here. So we have this, so it's detecting that it may be an image of one person and indoor. It did detect that it's indoor. Now let's click another one. Maybe an image of furniture in bedroom. So last one, maybe an image of furniture in indoor. So all of that, Facebook is able to go ahead and decipher what the image is right there. So there you go. That's how Facebook detects the content of whatever you're posting. Now, that may seem cool and all, but what does that have to do with creating ads? Well, Facebook likes to make sure that the platform itself has content that steers mostly towards the positive side. It doesn't want to have a lot of negativity on its platform. That's why there are rules, and ads that have a negative vibe get punished by lower results, lower traffic, and much more expensive cost per results. Now, I will provide a PDF right here of the things that Facebook tends to like and dislike so that you can be guided with your ad image creation. Now, this is what I call the Ninja graphical yin and yang objects. This will help you steer clear of ad rejections as long as you go ahead and get yourself guided by all these things right here. Now, combining your knowledge of the Facebook advertising rules and the basic direct response marketing rules, it will get you far ahead into the advertising game and will get you set up for being a ninja level advertiser. Now, explaining the best real estate ad offers. Real estate marketing is actually pretty dead simple once you understand the landscape of things, because there's actually just three basic offers that you need in order to run ads for this market. Let me just run you through all of them. So the first ad offer is listing details. Now, this is where you're advertising a specific property. All you're offering is just access to more details and information in exchange for their contact information. This is the most popular and widely used offer. The property details itself is the lead magnet that the leads want to get. It's a very straightforward option and doesn't need too much explaining to do. As long as you have a good offer or property to show, people will definitely come knocking on your door asking for more information about the property. Now, the next ad offer is what's called as the property list. So, if you're wanting to sell a wide variety of properties, here's one option that has worked like magic for my clients. Whether you offer a list of available properties around a certain area, a list of foreclosures, or a list of available inventories in your developer, etc., what you're basically offering is a list of great choices of great deals. You can either prepare that list beforehand and send them right away to your lead list, or you can choose to talk to your prospect first and get to know their specific preferences and needs, and then give them properties that match what they want. Now, the last real estate ad offer is what's called as we'll buy it right now, or we'll buy your property right now. So this is catered towards the real estate investors who are looking to buy a property, or brokers who are looking for some more listings. You can either just say that you have a list of buyers that are looking to buy property right now if you're a listing agent or broker. But if you're an investor looking to buy properties, it's as easy as saying 48-hour cash offer on your home right now, just to make it look more appealing. So you're basically attracting the market who's thinking of selling their property or their properties. So that's the three main offers in the real estate industry. Now, almost all ads under the real estate industry fall into these three main offer categories. So whether that's online or not, they all go through these three main offers. And by understanding these offers, you will have an easier time making ads for the real estate industry in general.
Discerning market psychology. The first part of this is using the form that we just previously have accomplished during our research process. So using this will help eliminate uncertainties and give us a more clear picture of our target market. If you haven't finished your forms yet, please go back and finish it because this lesson will be so useless without that. The main thing we're going to be talking about here is the different market segments between low end, mid end, high end, and also the luxury. You need to treat them all differently because they all react and respond to different things. Let's talk about the low end market, which is typically below 3 million pesos total contract price below. This market is going to value budget out of everything. They are willing to compromise on some of the features and benefits like being closer to the location, all the other high-end features, all so that they can get a great deal out of it. Now, they are going to be attracted mostly to low prices, discounts, flexible payment terms, financing, etc. A lot of people in this market will depend on the budget because that's pretty much what they can only afford. And another thing right here is that most people that are buying here are going to be end users. So not a lot of investors in here. There may be some, but most of them are going to be end users. Going here onto the mid-end market, so ranging from around 3 to 10 million total contract price. This market is willing to pay a little bit more than the previous one in exchange for a little bit more value for money. Now, investors would also be found more in this market, just basically because of the better amenities, the better location, and easier transportations, etc. Because that's a lot easier to roll into rental properties. So that's what they would really look out for a lot of the times. Although they are still pretty much more open to paying more, they would also still not mind having discounts, promos, flexible pay terms, etc. So that's for the mid-end market. Let's talk about the high-end market, which is around 10 to 20 million. So this market is now very sophisticated. They want more exclusivity than the mid-market and therefore should be treated carefully. They respond more with exclusive places, privacy, top-class amenities, bigger spaces, and most of all, their status boost. They aren't really attracted to most things like discounts and promos and some stretchable pay terms. There are other developers that are demanding cash basis only. So you can't purchase some of the properties right here that have stretched the payments. Some of them really require cash upfront. So that's the type of people that we're going to be dealing with here. You know, people right here with whenever you're going to be mentioning discounts or promos. For some, it might even be offensive if you try to mention those things. So that's for the high-end market. Now, for the luxury end market, which is 20 million pesos above, this market is going to be the hardest one to catch simply because they're so hard to reach and there are very, very few of them. However, don't give up because we still have been able to generate plenty of buyers in this market right here. Now, they react to pretty much the same as the high-end market and are also sometimes harder to contact due to their extra busy lifestyles. That's it for the luxury and market. Now that you know the different types of those markets, make sure that you keep them in mind when making our ad later on. The research form. Here in our research form, we've been able to also get to really know our audience using our deep market research by following the strategies in the No List Targeting 2.0 video. Now, we've also used the Ninja psychographics, the salary targeting, and the golden line to identify the people that you know makes most sense. And even better, if you've also interviewed your past clients on what made them want to buy from you. Congratulations! You now have the most unfair advantage than your competitors because now we know what they like and also we know what's the most unique selling proposition of our property. So we really know what's going to make our audience attracted towards our property. Since we now have all of those information, it's now time to put those into some very attractive and head-turning ads. Ninja Ad Copy 2.0. Here in Ninja Ad Copy 2.0, we're going to improve what's in the previous version and we are going to show you samples And we will also create ad copy live so you understand our thought process. While our formula hasn't changed at its core, because you really don't need to fix what's not broken, I've really made it sure to turn it into something infinitely better so that you're going to be able to use this more effectively and start giving you qualified leads at a snap. So, our new Ninja Ad Copy formula consists of attention grabbing USP or unique selling proposition, the desirable thing about the property, next is the pricing and unit cuts, next is the details and benefits, next is the scarcity, and finally the call to action. So let's talk about each of them right now, along with some samples of each. Attention grabbing USP. Now this is going to serve as our headline and our above the fold copy. This should be the first thing that everyone sees to make sure that they get attracted to our ad and make them want to click see more to read the rest of our ad. It's important to make sure that we put in the absolute most important and attractive qualities about your property so that you can make it stand out. Using it this way, you're only shortcutting the call out because people see this as a shiny object thing in their feed. Of course, it's going to work a lot better if it's going to be paired with a scroll stopping ad creative. Here are some samples of them. So first one is from One Sierra, so experienced European condo living along EDSA. Now the next one is going to be from Oriana from DMCI, resort inspired condo in Aurora, QC, that's 1 kilometer away to everything you need for just 17,000 per month. And the last one is from Velaris from Archk Development. Invest in a multi-awarded luxury development that puts other competing projects to shame. Those are the samples of the USP, so make sure to really study them because these types of copy right here have already been tested and have ad spend backed up on them, and a lot of leads and a lot of inquiries and site trippings, and also some closed deals behind them. Next one is going to be the desirable thing. Now, the desirable thing is about keeping the prospect's attention and making sure that we are showing and explaining more of the most promising qualities about why that property is the perfect property ever for their needs. Now, something that you can just use is to just make the USP more detailed than just a single line. Feel free to bring out the most redeeming things about your property here. Your main thing here is to make them finish reading the entire copy up until the end. Now, some of the things that you can mention here about the desirable thing is sometimes it's going to be about the location of the property. Sometimes for the low-end market, it's going to be the price, the promos, and all of that stuff. For luxury and high-end, sometimes it's going to be the kind of experience and feel that they will get from being able to own such a property. Some things along the lines of those. So let's go ahead and check out some samples. Let's check this out. So this one's from One Sierra. So from the #1 largest developer in Europe for 27 years, PIK brings you a once-in-a-lifetime offer to own your luxury European-style One Sierra condo unit. Located in EDSA and Sierra Madre Street, Hawi Hills, a key high-value growth center between Makati, BGC, and Ortigas along the EDSA Highway. It's in a rapidly growing and maturing location, perfect for investment. Now, the next one is going to be the Velaris. Let's read this together. The Velaris Residences. This joint venture by Robinson's Land and Hong Kong Land is positioned to be one of the, if not the most luxurious residence along the Pasig C5 corridor, towering at the center of the master planned 30-hectare mixed-use estate bordered by the high-growth roads of C5, Ortigas Avenue, and Amang Rodriguez Avenue. This upscale development fetches for a fraction of premier Makati and BGC projects, while providing the same opulence but with more value and considerable growth potential, a rare first mover advantage. So those are some examples of the desirable thing. So let's go ahead and check out the next part. Pricing and unit cuts. Now this is very self-explanatory. You just literally put the monthly amortization for each unit cuts or sizes for each property, and even the reservation fee. Now this way you'll be able to pre-qualify the people who can and can't for the property. You will now have an easier time talking with most of the people that inquire because they have now been introduced to how much this thing will actually cost. Now let me show you a few samples right here. The first one right here is going to be for One Sierra, and this one's going to be for the Valaris. So it's something that's simple and easy as that. All right, so let's go here to the details and benefits. Now, this is where you can finish off by listing down all the amenities, the nearby locations, and even outright how the featured USPs can benefit them. This is where you list down the rest of the more important stuff that your prospect needs to realize that your property can offer. Make this as short and sweet as possible because the rest of the readers are going to be trailing off at this point. Now here's a few samples of them. So this one's for One Sierra. At the top, we just place down the locations nearby and how long it'll take them to go there by driving, and some of the amenities that you have here. The next part is going to be for Valaris, so complete with ultra high-end pleasures such as private lift lobbies, exclusive sky club, Japanese onsen, smart mirrors, Olympic length pool, smart lock and automation features, and multi-level gardens and amenities. Those are samples of details and benefits. Scarcity. This is what's going to make them jump off the edge of their seats and take the action that you wanted them to take. Now this might seem minor, but a little bit of this can go a long way, up until you being able to get the sale, all because they were just afraid of missing out. So let me just show you a few samples. This project is selling fast with limited 2-bedroom units left, 12% off on the total contract price for this Christmas prom. So something as simple and easy as that, and this is something they can pretty much come off with very easily. Now let's talk about the next part, call to action. This is going to be the last part of the copy, but it's still arguably one of the most important part of the entire copy, which is just to tell them exactly what to do, and it's very easy to make. And here are some of the examples. Click below for current prices, photos, details, and more, or send message for more details. Now it's quick, simple, and easy as that, and you don't really need to complicate it even more. You have to make this something that's super easy for them to follow. So let's get on to the next part, which is the headlines. I know I've already brought this up in the first part of the copy, but I just wanted to be thorough. So let me just rediscuss this again. Now, usually for headlines, what I'll do is to just rephrase and reword the attention-grabbing USP and make it fit into the headline space. This is one of the most crucial places in the ad, so make sure that you bring out the best USP here and not just the name of the Facebook page, which is a huge failure that other property specialists are doing. So here are some quick samples right here. European living for 11K per month, multi-awarded luxury condo at 40K per month. There you go. Those are the headlines. After you've collected all of them, you have to make sure that you're able to put them all together, and then make sure that as you read your whole completed copy, you're going to take your prospect into consideration. All right, so you must make sure that you're not only trying to please yourself, you're going to make sure that you're going to be pleasing your prospect. And how you're going to do that is you're going to ask yourself, is my prospect going to be attracted to this ad and make them interested to check this out? Only if you answered yes to this can you go and proceed. All right, now if you've carefully followed the formula that I laid out right here to build out your whole ad copy, this is going to make sure that you're going to be able to easily answer this question as a yes. So you're going to have the confidence that you're going to be able to make sure that they're going to get attracted to this and make them want to check it out. Now with all of that said, that is how you make ninja level ad copy. Ninja Creatives 2.0. Now that we've crafted our killer ninja ad copy, it's time to dive into the bait that we are going to use to attract them into our ad and have them read the rest of our ad copy. Now this is very important because this will be the difference between your ad getting noticed or getting ignored. Now there's two things that we're going to abuse right here, and the first is the algorithm biases and the next one is the market biases. Now we're going to be talking about the algorithm bias. This algorithm can pretty much see what is inside your ad. So This is the first gatekeeper, and it's going to check if you're obeying the policies that they have. That's the answer as to why sometimes you don't know as to why your ad got rejected, even if you've followed the policies and you have nothing wrong in your ad. It's just because of the AI. So they're pretty much the first gatekeeper to check if you're obeying the policies that they have. And it also sees the quality of the content that you produce, and then it's going to decide whether your ad will be approved or not. So most of the time, the algorithm is the thing that's going to do this, not a human being. And that's also where it's going to rank your ad quality. So if it sees the quality of the content you're producing, they're going to decide if it's going to be above average, average, or below average. Now, this is something that you're going to be seeing a lot in your ad campaigns. We're going to be talking about that very, very soon. Since the algorithm is a system, and since we also have tested different kinds of ads already with over hundreds of thousands of pesos, we have been able to discover what Facebook prefers and what it doesn't prefer as much. So let me just explain this to you using this graphic right here. As you can see, this is the media buyer, this one's the algorithm, and this is the user right here. And this is pretty much how it works. When the media buyer produces the ad, the algorithm is going to go ahead and double check it. And then if it passes, then it's going to show it to the Facebook user. Now, if the Facebook user doesn't like it, then it's going to give the algorithm feedback and it's going to shoot it back down to you. This is what's going to happen if you're going to produce bad type of ads. So when you produce bad ads, you produce bad user experience, and that's going to result in negative feedback, and that's going to result to you in lower results, below average rankings, and a higher cost per result. However, if you try to do it right, then this is what's going to happen. When you produce a good ad, you create great user experience, you get great results on your feedback, and you get more results, an above average ranking, and lower cost per result. Now that you understand all of that, you now have a better way of understanding the entire algorithm right away. Next is knowing about what our market likes and using that to our advantage. Together with that, we'll also use the sample ads that we got from the ads library to determine exactly what works and what doesn't. And we're also going to be using the market psychology together with this. And another thing, the easiest way to still do this, to tap the market bias, is to do the Airbnb test. And just to simply make sure to include pictures where they can still imagine themselves enjoying it. So make sure to include images of greenery such as trees, grasslands, pools, lounge areas, the bedroom, the dining table, the balcony, all those stuff that they can just imagine themselves relax and enjoy it. Those are the stuff that the market will in general prefer once they try to look at real estate ads. So let's go ahead and take a look at what are the types of ads that are going to work. So there are only three types of ad creatives that work for real estate. Those are going to be single images, with and without graphics, grid style images with and without graphics, and some videos. And we're also going to be providing you with a bunch of different Canva templates, also for different market classes, such as the low, mid, and high end. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at some single images. Here are just some sample of the single images that we used and we've already launched. Both of these are from Alveo, and as you can see right here, we're also using some of the USPs right here. So it's this one's New Valley of the North. This one's from Corvia Alvier, Pampanga. So this is a shortcut to describing what kind of quality this lot is going to be. And this one right here, Premium Lots and New Valley. So it's just simple and straightforward. And at the bottom right here, we're showing them some pricing and some unit cuts, also same here. And right here at the bottom, we just kind of included a little bit of desirable thing about the property. So that's some of the single images. We have more here. So this one's from DMCI Cameron. This one's just 11 minutes away. So we're showing here the USB and also same here. Then the pricing unit cuts, and then a call to action right there. So yeah, those are some sample of the single images. However, you're going to get more in the somewhere down below or around this video right here. So let's go ahead and check out some grid style images now. So right here, you can still see that I'm still abusing my 4-grid layout style because this is just a lot easier to put a lot more images into one cohesive image. So right here, I just placed 4 images of outside properties, and I just put like some sort of dark gradient over it and just put a 10 plus just to make them bait into clicking this picture right here. Now this one doesn't really look like much of a bait, but you're just seeing straight up the kinds of places where they will enjoy staying in, and also at the very center, the USB and the pricing. Next is going to be this. So another grid style layout. At the center, you have all of your USBs right there, some areas that they'll pretty much enjoy being in. And right here, this is another lot right here. So I split it into 2 because it's a lot easier to justify this images, because if I were to try putting it into a 4-grid layout style, you won't be able to really enjoy the scenery of this whole entire lot as much. And then I just placed the USB in between right there. That's the grid style layout. Now, the last one is going to be a video, and this is what it looks like. Let me just go ahead and play this. Okay, so right there you might notice a few parts on this video. So the first part is we used a drone to make sure that we're able to really capture the entire area right here. And as you can see right here, like I just went ahead and drew a kind of rectangular thing and pointed a text right there that says the whole area of the 2-hectare lot. I'm not even sure if that's the whole 2-hectare lot right there, but that just gives the viewer like kind of an imaginary estimate of how big the lot actually is. And I'm also pointing to some nearby places right there just to make sure that you're adding in some details and benefits inside of this video. And as you can see, I have this black bar on the top and at the bottom that also shares the USB of this entire property right here. And if we go forward, we can still see that I'm still doing the same, and we're giving them the overview of the entire lot right there. And at the very end, we have a call to action. So that's something that we did at the first try, and it's been really working out well for our client. And that's videos right there. The next, we have Ninja Ad Harmony. Now, Ad Harmony is a very unique thing here in Ninja Real Estate Elite. No one else talks about this, but it's similar to the e-commerce space in a way that they call it AdSense. Now, what this is pretty much the familiarity and consistency of the entire ad as a whole. Make sure that every part of the ad, which are the headline, the creative, and the copy, all describe one thing, and that's going to be your property only and nothing else. Doing this bumps up your ads quality by a significant margin versus other real estate advertisers. Not only will Facebook reward you with more reach, impressions, and lower costs, but your prospects will be more likely to give you more engagement, such as likes, comments, and shares on your ad, which boosts the overall social proof and credibility of your ad for free. Now, just make sure to double check your ad harmony by seeing it as a whole, and then you're doing it right. Alright, so welcome back. I'm going to show you exactly my thought process when it comes to trying to create copy for this. Right here, we're just going to go back to our already filled out information sheet right here, our research form right here. Since we've already filled out a bunch of stuff, now it's going to be a lot easier for us to go ahead and create copy for this, since we already have all of the information right here, the USPs, the psychographics, the demographics, and all of the rest of the information about the product. So what we're going to come up with right now is we're just going to scroll all the way down right here and start filling up all of these ones right here. Okay, so right now the first one is of course going to be the attention grabbing USP. Now for this, what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be looking up right here first at the ads library research page. So what are the top 5 USP? First of all, it's going to be the location. So minutes away from top 3 CBDs. It's Europe's largest developer, but a competitive prices, European level. Then what I'm going to be checking out is basically what the sample ads right here look like. So there's that. So what I'm going to be creating right here is something along the lines of the location and European. 10,000, 10K per month. Alright, so this one's already going to automatically call out all of the people who want to experience European class living. And now that they see that it's located in EDSA, actually let me just, the Lu Yong, for only 10K per month. Now, I wouldn't really put their 10K per month because it might attract some lower class people right there that wouldn't really be able to, afford the entire TCP of this entire thing. So I might just forgo this thing. Now it might pretty much decrease the click-through rate of this, but we're also trying to make sure that we're kind of filtering out the rest of the people who are not really able to afford what we're showing them right here. So I just want to make a few more of this. Alright, so right now I've made a bunch of different attention grabbing USPs, and later on we're going to be kind of mixing and matching things to just see which one fits better and which one do we think is going to be the most attention grabbing one out of all of them. So now that I've made a couple of those attention grabbing USPs, now let's go ahead and proceed to the next part, which is the desirable thing about the property. Now, right here, as we've previously discussed, we're going to be talking deeper about what's with this attention grabbing USP right here. So why is it European class? Why is it in EDSA? Why are we able to enjoy it or something like that? So now I'm just going to start writing here, and I'm just going to explain a few things after I've already done writing out the whole entire copy. Alright, so right now I've been able to write down the entire desirable thing about this property, and I can just literally sum this down into 3 things right here. So the first one, since we've decided that the 2 most attention grabbing USP about this property right here, the fact that 1, it's made from a European company named PIK that's already been, I think, 22 years in the industry of building developments like this one, and also its very strategic location. The first one that I really emphasized on in this first place right here is the fact that it's from a European company. So that just pretty much means that since they're a European company that's been in the industry for so long, it means that they're
already knowledgeable in bringing international class of living experience and quality for its residents or its investors. So you're really able to trust that brand when it comes to bringing in high quality living experiences and such. Now, the next part is going to be the location. So it's located between the streets of EDSA Mandaluyong and Sierra Madre Street. So since the fact that it's between both of these streets, if you know the area of Mandaluyong, this is the heart and center of the whole Metro Manila area. You can argue with me if you want to, but I think that Mandaluyong is the absolute center of the whole Metro Manila, and literally it gives you instant easy access to these top three CBDs in Metro Manila, and that's why it's placed in a really strategic location because you can reach any of these in just less than 15 minutes when you travel, provided that there's no traffic at all, of course. So yeah, it's in a very strategic location, and that sums up the entire desirable thing about this property right here. So with that said, now that we've already finished this part right here, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to pricing and unit cuts. Now, this is just going to be easy because we already have some of these right up here, and we can just really blatantly copy all of this right here. So there we go. Now actually this is something that they copied from me from my past copy right there. So I'm just still going to copy it since it's mine anyways. So studio, it's 32 to 37.47 square meters. And actually let me just kind of write that down. Give me a few seconds right here while I just try to type this up over on my notepad. Alright, so I've gone ahead and already copied that stuff right there. So let me just go ahead and paste it right there. So there we go. All nice and simple and easy. Just state the unit cuts right there and how much they cost on a monthly basis. Sometimes you can even go ahead and put in the reservation fee right there, but I won't do it because I don't think this one's going to be necessary right here. So for the details and benefits, like what you saw earlier, I'm just going to copy it again since it's also from me. And yeah, so let me just go ahead and break this down on how I was able to go ahead and come up with this one. So since I've lived within the area of Mandaluyong, I already know the best places that kind of stand out within the area. So it's going to be these five right here. We could add one more and add the Ortigas CBD right there. So we're just going to go ahead and copy this and going right here on the bottom, which highlights the entire amenities of the properties and also some of the features of the property. So the first one, we have this low density, only 10 units per floor. So this is something that you really have to show to people to make them understand that you have a little bit of exclusivity within this development. So automated car parking for easy parking, that's not something that a lot of the competing properties in the area has. So there's that, and some of these stuff pretty much almost any other properties will have. So that's why we put this first two right there. And then yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and copy everything right here. All right, so I've gone ahead and already typed this up all again. And by the way, just to let you know, aside from the first two right here, the rest right here were all copied from their website. So just letting you know that it's pretty much okay to do that because you're still going to be selling their property and they're still going to benefit heavily from it. So use all the means that you have to be able to write good ad copy.
So paste without formatting, and then there we go. So those are the details and benefits. Now scarcity is simple right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find one of those things that I knew I saw right here. We are offering the first 6-month payments for free for a limited time. There we go. Limited offer, 6 months for free. Just like that. And call to action. Now you can go ahead and test this. So do this, send message for more details, photos, and now what you're going to be doing next is just going ahead and copy pasting all of this into your final ad copy. And as we go with it, we can go ahead and just do this and then do, hold on, let's do that. Okay, and then the pricing and unit cuts. All right, then the details and benefits, just like that. Scarcity. Lastly, this. Now go ahead and finish that. I'm just going to add one more thing. Locations nearby, and I'm gonna add a pin right here. European logo. Try to make this into a bullet. Just like that. Then another thing that you can try to do is, well, some people do this. For me, since this is kind of mid to high end, I'd be kind of careful with it, but we can pretty much go here and format the entire thing. So I'm just going to select a few ones right here, like for example the scarcity, to make it stand out a bit more. All right. So do that. So I'm just going to look for some italicized ones, not that, this one. Then paste that right there. And then for this one, this is just going to be a very simple, just like that. And there you go. That's going to be my final ad copy for this property. So I hope that you've learned how to use this, and I hope that this is going to make it a lot easier for you to be able to create your Ninja level ad copy. So right now what I'm going to be showing you is how we create the creative. So what we're going to do is we're gonna head straight to Canva right here, and what I'm going to pull up again is going to be their website right here from One Sierra, so that we can get some high quality images right there. So what I like to use is going to be the Instagram post, since it's going to give us a 1080 by 1080 resolution. So that means it's going to be a square, and for me, square is still the best one that you should use for these types of ads, because they take up a lot of space in the screen. And as you can see right there, that whole square right there takes up like a huge space on the screen in the center, and it's going to just make it a lot easier for you to really steal the attention of your customer or prospect right there. So let's go back here to the attention grabbing USP. So we're also highlighting the part that it's a European brand company, and the fact that it's bringing them an international class and level of living experience and quality through its amenities, services, and the actual residences. So we need to bring this thing to life, and how we are going to do that is through our images. And for me, I am not going to be able to justify showing just one picture if you're trying to show off all of its amenities right there. So we're going to go with my trusty one, the 4-grid layout. Now for this, I just want to make sure that we're going to eliminate the entire spacing right here. Yeah, so let's go to showroom. Yeah, actually we can go ahead and copy this image right here right now and try to paste it over here and put it there. Okay, and the rest of it is going to be for the amenities. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up some assets right here, and I'm going to search for the One Sierra project. So these are some files that my client has given me. So I like this one. Just going to hit print screen and copy this whole thing, and then just paste it right down here like that. So I'm gonna put it across. So it just looks a lot more homey, inviting, and European. There we go. So those are all the 4 images that we're going to use to represent this entire project right here. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to bump up the colors and saturation of these images right here to taste, just to make sure that it's popping up in your news feed. So what I like to really start first is not the saturation necessarily, but the vibrance. Now this is a more subtle way to up the saturation in a way that it doesn't look like it's too in your face. So right here, if I've already turned the vibrance up to 100, I can now just slowly try to up the saturation, and that's already going to be enough. So right here, go up the vibrance, up the saturation by a bit. I think this needs contrast to be brought down a bit so it can recover some of the shadows right there. So let's go ahead and click this. And yeah, so normally I would stop there, but here's something that I would do. I would go ahead and make 2 of these. Sometimes I would make them battle each other out in the testing. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to add in some graphics right here just to make sure. So I'm going to do this. I just want to make sure that I'm not trying to overwhelm everything right here. I still want them to see a lot of what's inside here. I want to get their logo from One Sierra, and since I'm not able to get that, that is our logo. All right, so I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste that here and make that smaller and then crop it just because that's the only thing that we need. Now experiment by putting it here, I guess. And then since their branding is orange, I'm gonna go ahead and try to pick this one up, copy the code right there, and go back here and do this. And then I'm going to use the exact same text. So I'm going to turn this into glacial indifference, make that bold, and turn that into white. I think that looks better. Alright, so what did we say right here? Enjoy European living in EDSA. That's what we're going to say. I'm going to select all and then try to lower the line spacing right there. Make it kind of subtle. EDSA Mandaluyong. So we're going to center this. Also this. We're going to start playing around with this one now. So that's how I'm going to move along with this one right here. Could add shadows here as well and reduce the transparency. And yeah, pretty much I'm already happy with what I've made right here, and I'm gonna start running with this. So yeah, that's how I make my creatives for these property right here. So I'm going to be running both this and this and have them battle each other out to see which one will attract people more. And yeah, so that's how we make both of the Ninja Ad creative and then the Ninja Ad copy. Alright, so I hope that you've learned a lot from this, and I hope that this is going to be enough for you to be able to create killer ninja ads. That's going to be pretty much your entire competition and start giving you qualified leads in an instant and start getting easier booked site viewings and, of course, sales. So with that said, I'm going to see you in the next video.